The 700M is Cougar's leading mouse, tailored specifically for the esports scene, but is this strange looking mouse any good or a big miss? Let's find out. I decided to purchase the red and black esports variant to review, which only has a couple of changes compared to the original black variant, but I will point them out a bit later. This mouse is priced at $79, which certainly puts it in the higher tier of wired gaming mouse, competing with the rival 300 and the Myonix Caster. Features wise, this mouse has a 1000Hz polling rate, 16.8 million colour RGB, a 1.8 meter gold plated USB cable, AD-NS 9800 laser gaming sensor which supports up to 8200 DPI, and 10 programmable buttons. This mouse is supposed to have 4.5 gram weights, but sadly none were included in my retail package box or attached to the weight caddy. Dimensions wise, this mouse is 127mm long, 83mm wide and 38mm high, making it fairly average sized, and weight wise it is 110 grams without any additional weights attached, making it above average, but I do prefer a heavier mouse. Onto the overview with the left hand side, which has two side buttons which are extremely stiff to press but feel strong and are perfectly positioned for me. The thumb rest has a thin textured rubber coating which does a fairly decent job grip wise, but it is extremely hard. On the base of the grip is a sniper button that surprisingly I never accidentally pressed even though my thumb rests on top of it. By default, this button has no function assigned to it, which forces you to download the Cougar software if you wish to use it for anything, which I personally think is a dumb decision. On the right hand side is another thin coating of the textured rubber to assist with grip. On top of the mouse is a paddle button that is stiff to press and again, by default has no function assigned to it. The left and right click buttons feature on switches rated at 20 million clicks and are nice and clicky to press with the perfect amount of resistance. The scroller was made out of aluminium with a nice textured rubber coating and defined steps, but again it is a bit stiff to press. Behind that is a single DPI button that is well positioned, offers a nice bit of resistance to prevent misclicks, and changes between your 4 selected DPI settings in ascending order. By default the DPI settings are 800, 1600, 3200 and 5600 and is shown by the 4-bar lighting system on the left hand side. Just behind the DPI button is the annoying to access weight caddy, and below that is a small palm rest area with the Cougar logo that can be removed for some reason, and there are probably options to 3D print your own if you don't like this one. Unfortunately this rest only has two settings of either all the way on or completely off, even though it is mounted on a rail system that would have been nice to see a few more stops on it to extend the palm area slightly, but that is just a suggestion. This palm area can also be raised or lowered using an aluminium screw under it to tailor it to your preferred height, but I have fiddled with it for hours and still can't seem to find a perfect setting to stop my hand from hurting after a while. On the bottom is 6 smallish Teflon feet that glide seamlessly and the aforementioned 9800 laser sensor. Finally, at the front is the braided cable held on by a strong metal insert, and just under the scroll wheel is the only RGB zone, which is a single LED that shines out the front in a small cone shape and is only noticeable in the dark. On the normal 700M, the top is coated in a matte black or silver plastic, which is ideal compared to the esports edition that is glossy, which shows all smudges and attracts any dust in the general area. The centre frame of the mouse is aluminium, making it extremely sturdy. One huge gripe I have with this mouse is because the top of the right hand side grip overhangs. My pinky and ring finger get uncomfortable when gripping it normally due to this sticking into them, so I feel I have to hold the mouse like this for it to feel comfortable, but my hand isn't used to holding a mouse this way, which makes the majority of my hand movements sloppy and inefficient. Onto the testing phase, and first up is CSGO aim training. After warming up, TDM is up next. Battlefield 1 is up next for some close range engagements. Before moving on to some sniping. I've never used this laser sensor before, but I could not fault it as any misaim was due to the shape of the mouse or human error. The software side is up next, which uses Cougar's UIX interface. From here you can adjust all 4 DPI settings or disable any you don't plan on using, and also set the sniper DPI, which won't work by default. The DPI goes up in increments of 50, but you don't seem to be able to manually type in a number for some odd reason. You can also turn on angle snapping, adjust polling rate, lift height, and double-click scroll and Windows pointer speeds. Under the key assignment tab is where you can assign new functions to each button individually, including adding the sniper option to the sniper button, which for some reason isn't assigned to it from the beginning. There are 3 modes or profiles you can have created here for different occasions or games. Next up is lighting control for the single LED under the scroll wheel, with the options to have it breathing of a single colour, fully lit of a single colour, or disable the lighting entirely. You can select your desired colour using the colour wheel, manually type in the red, green, blue profile, or select one of the preset colours. The lighting is fairly useless and seems pretty tacked on, with it being placed in one of the worst spots possible and being quite dull. In conclusion, I really can't find a reason to suggest this mouse to anyone over the top of any other mice, unless you like the aesthetic appeal, are looking for a reliable sensor, or looking for a mouse that is extremely sturdy. The 700M is not comfortable to use, not configured efficiently out of the box, and overall seems like I am punishing myself by using it and making my gaming experience less enjoyable. I know it seems like I'm being unfairly harsh, but in all honesty there are better mice out there for the same price or less that does everything this mouse sets out to do better, and that's what you want at the end of the day. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, and if you really enjoyed it, please consider subscribing for more reviews and other content in the future. If you have a suggestion, question or criticism, leave a comment, and thank you very much for watching.